Hello and welcome to Transformation Now. Hi, I'm Rita Rocker, an international author, speaker, and trainer with SoaringHigher.rocks. And what I'm going to be doing for the next several programs is training and encouragement from my book, Creating Your Own Destiny, Power Steps for Mind, Body Renewal. And so this is all from my book. I have a workbook too, if you're interested in really sitting down and redesigning your life. I'm doing that in a lot of ways myself because of some really trying things that I went through lately. And so we can all do that. No matter how many times we've been knocked down, we get back up, we get in the race, and we go forward very successfully and happy and fulfilled because of the transformations that have been made in our lives. And so what I did last time was sort of an introduction through the book. And so now I'm going to start again with chapter 1, which is Emerging from the Wilderness. It's time to rise. And so my last program ended with this affirmation that I'd like to share with you again, because we're going to rise, we're going to take off, be strengthened as we go forward in life. And I know a lot of people have been through more than usual the last few years. So this is really close to my heart in seeing you fulfill the destiny that God has created for you, and to be able to do the things in your life that make you light up, that make you feel good. That's where you want to be. And sometimes it's a battle to get there, but we're going to work on it. So the affirmation I ended with last time that I'm going to just start this program with is, I am slamming the door on the past. Okay, visually think about slamming the door against any kind of hurt, destruction, behaviors, what people have done, where you've been in your life. I've had some pretty rocky, rotten things in my life. And so you slam the door to all that. So I'm slamming the door on my past. Self-sabotage, okay, that's us. Self-sabotage does not live here anymore. Regret, shame, and defeat have now left the building. Okay, so sit there and think, okay, I regret not doing this. I regret having done that. I have so much shame because of this I did, or that I did, or somebody said I did, or whatever the case may be. And I have been defeated over and over and over. No. Regret, shame, and defeat have now left the building. They have left your home. They have left your job. Sorry, you life destroyers. The door is locked and you can never enter my life again. Okay, it will try. Those things will try to enter your life again and affect your life. But it's like, nope, I'm slamming the door in that. I will not accept that anymore. I will not accept harmful, painful words. I will not accept nasty behavior from people. I will not accept thoughts in my mind that say, oh, well, you don't have enough education. You don't have enough of this or money or that to do what you, I'm slamming the door on that. Because once I focus on the opposite of that, I will start attracting and bringing those things in. So many people, I've heard so many testimonies, so many stories. I've been listening to some programs lately and videos of people who had really, really, really rough lives. I was listening to some with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi lately, and boy, they had rough, especially Tony Robbins. My gosh. He's a miracle, but he focused on it, he worked on it, he dedicated himself, he was committed. And so many other people committed, like the young girl I've shared before that was a foster child, okay? But she had a single lady that ended up kind of being like her foster mom, 16 years old, no family, no nothing. But this lady took her in and she entered the Miss Teen USA pageant with a $39 dress. I was Mrs. Nebraska in the Mrs. America pageant many, many years ago, okay? And I understand that you see a lot of people with beautiful clothing. I didn't have any. My husband was dying of cancer at the time. So, I had so much thought, so much care for this young lady because she entered with a $39 dress. She did not have all the fancy things that a lot of the girls had, and she won Miss Teen USA. Why? Because she refused to let her circumstances, her past, lack of finances, everything. She refused to let that hold her down and say, no, you can't enter. Why would you enter? You don't have anything. No, she didn't do that. Or like a young lady who, she and her mom lived in shelters, homeless shelters for a few years actually. And she ends up getting a scholarship to Harvard, okay? So it doesn't matter, I mean, it does matter, but we can't let that hold us down. We know we can go forward no matter what. I've heard so many stories of trauma and pain where people have gone forward anyway and overcome that. So always think of that. Focus on truly taking off and soaring higher by implementing laser focus on your true life's purpose. So eliminating the things again that have been in your life that have caused a lot of problems. And so you are healing. Anybody who leaves now, any disconnections, you'll have to have disconnections from people, places, and things as you're going forward. But they were part of the unhealed you, as I shared last time. And so there needs to be a separation there because you're aligning with people that are with the healed you as you go along and the one who's being restored and going forward just like all these other people. And so that's so important. Thought just popped into my head, and I know I've shared this in the past, but a gentleman named Bob Wieland who had his legs blown off in Vietnam, clear up to his hips. And he did not want to sit into a home and not do anything. So he built up his body really strong, his upper body. He had no legs. I mean, they were off clear up to his hips, and God bless him. And so he worked up massive upper body, and he entered a international weightlifting championship, and he won with the bench press. I think it was one of those. But they took the title away from him, even though he won it fairly, because he was not wearing regulation clothing, which included shoes. The man had no legs. I cried. I was watching that. I had tears rolling down my cheeks, and I thought, how could you be so horrible? But did he just say, okay, fully on it, I tried, I'm done. That hurt too badly. No, what he did is he built his body up even stronger, had these things made for his fists and for his trunk of his body. And I think he went pretty much all the way, walked across America. It showed videos of him put his hands down and then swing his trunk forward, and then put his hands down and swing his trunk forward. And he was on the side of interstates where there's trucks and cars going by, and he's breathing in all this stuff. But he said, no, I am going to prove to people they can do whatever they set their minds to do. And my purpose mainly is to raise money for food for hungry people. And I'm also going to show people that no matter what has happened to them, no matter how devastating life has been and how much it kicked them in the backside, I'm going to keep going. And he ended up getting married. He said one time, a neighbor looked out and said, how are you mowing the lawn? I'm sure he must have been into riding lawnmower, but he said, oh, my wife will be upset with me if I don't get the lawn mowed. He let nothing interfere with his life and his purpose and going forward. And one of the most powerful testimonies I've ever seen. I mean, I saw a young lady who had no arms. She had a baby. She could change the baby's diapers with her toes. She could drive. I saw her literally. She was driving with her feet. I don't know how she did it. But, sometimes we think, oh, this happened to us, that happened to us. I give up. I've done that myself a lot of times. But, then you think, look at these people. Wow. And if they can do it, surely I can do it. And so I have been on a gratitude mode lately. And it's like, no, instead of being so unhappy with what's happened to you recently and where you're still fighting to get out now, be grateful for everything you have. And sometimes it's a matter of, okay, I can see, I can walk, I can talk, I have food, I have a refrigerator, I have a bed, I have a roof over my head. And sometimes if that's all we can do, then let's do that, because it will change how you feel. And instead of being so sad and upset, we start thinking, wow, I'm really grateful. I have so much. I've been to Haiti. I've seen missions. I know what it's all about. And we are blessed. And so even if we have to get to that point, well, I don't have much in the way of groceries, but what I do have, I'm being fed. I'm not starving like a lot of people in the world. Sometimes we have to get down to that point and think, no, I have a lot to be grateful for. I am blessed. I'm going to get out of this funky place I'm in, and I'm going forward because I'm going to keep flipping my thoughts in my head to the positive side. I'm not entertaining the negative anymore. That's a no-fly zone. Can't come near me anymore. I'm going forward. So think about that. Eliminating a lot of those things, and that's important. And so we don't want to give authority to anything negative, any negative people, anything like that. We want to accelerate and we want to shift. And so first step is to understand life's purpose for you and discern what it is. What is your purpose? We all have a purpose. Every single one of us have a purpose. Mine is to work with people to help them to grow and to learn and to start life over if necessary, or to move on, and to educate in a lot of different areas, whether it's corporate training or working with people individually. But what is your purpose? It could be mediating fights because you're good at it. It could be helping kids or adults with math, or maybe you have great cooking skills and you could maybe barter your food, or helping teach other people life skills, and at the same time they can give you something in return, whether it's helping you learn how to balance your bank, taking care of your kids while you go somewhere else, wherever the case may be. So think about that. Make efficient goals and do meaningful activities. And meaningful activities includes not sitting watching movies all night on Netflix. I've been tempted lately, and it's like, no, I can't do that. I may not feel real zippy at the moment, but I'm not going to sit here all night and watch movies when I could be working on life steps to move forward again. And so that's a decision we have to make. Well, sometimes, we want to kick back and we want to chill. But a lot of times it's like, nope, that's not going to get me anywhere. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to read something. I'm going to study. I'm going to be doing something positive. So think about that. And then also we want to align with what God has shown us, what He's gifted us with, and go forward from there. If you ask, He will show you His plans, His purpose, what He's gifted you with, what He has chosen for you to do, because we all have a plan, a purpose, and we know where that comes from. So what is your definition of success? I don't mean the world's definition of success. I mean your definition of success. Everybody is different. Some people say, well, I'll be successful when I'm a president, a vice president, I own my own company, I drive a Ferrari, whatever the case may be. What is your definition of success? Does it have good things in the material world, but also include, which is really important, good things in relationships and helping other people? So it's not all about us and gimme. Yes, we want these fine things, we deserve these fine things, but we should also be using our talents and abilities to help other people and lift them up as well. That is so important. Maybe it's your definition of success is winning a gold medal, being a sports figure of some sort. And so that could be something too. Sometimes a parent, usually probably more the male, but a parent can try to live vicariously through a child and expect them to excel in sports when the child doesn't like sports all that well. They want to do computers and programming and designing or music or something else. But what is your definition of success? Not the definition someone else has tried to put in your brain. What is yours? That's where you will excel. A title. Sometimes if people have a certain title with their name, it could be a judge, a doctor, whoever. Sometimes people will say, that is my definition of success. Again, think of all the things you can do with that, but also how can you influence the lives of other people? Maybe it's just, I have this huge bank account. I have money rolling out everywhere. Is that your definition of success? If so, how are you going to get there? Then you start building the steps to your definition of success. Maybe it could be a particular partner. And there again, we have to be very careful what kind of decisions we're making regarding partners. Is this person actually good for us? Will they help us? Can we partner together in unity and be strong or not? And family. Maybe success is having a very happy, fulfilled family, well-balanced, etc. All of those things take choices. All of those things take work to get there. Nothing's going to happen overnight. So we start sitting down and we start making choices. Well, the choice I made on this part of my life, or who I was with, etc., not so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking steps to back away from this and get involved with people, places, and things that are beneficial to me instead. Not always easy, but it's very, very important to do that. So leaving a familiar nest, pushing the reset button. You know, we hear a lot about reset nowadays. Some of it's not so good. But a lot of times we have to push the reset button. Think about a reset button. What does that do? Well, like on a computer, you know, it's going to reboot possibly, something like that. Reset on a phone, turn it off, turn it back on, etc. And so again, a lot of times there's reset buttons that we have to push to get out of the wilderness that maybe we've been in. Takes work. Sit down and think about it. Sit down and think about it when you don't have your computer and your phone next to you, constantly clicking, beeping. I know that's a distraction for me, and I think, whoa, 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 stop it. Quit picking up your phone. You have to concentrate and think right now. And so that's very, very important. But leaving familiar things again that are uncomfortable is very, very important, and clearing our path of obstacles, people, places, and things that are obstacles, and then creating new recipes for our life. You know, when somebody's creating new recipes, whether it's a chef or if it's a mom, whoever it is, when they're creating new recipes, sometimes they have to kind of play with it a little bit. Okay, a little too much salt, a little too much of this, not enough of that. Well, they're creating recipes that will be enjoyed by many, and we have to create recipes for our life too. Of the thing, you know, just think about that, recipe cards. Maybe make some recipe cards in your life for the things that you want to do. And that's very, very important. And you can even separate them from home and family and work and sports or music, whatever the case may be. You know, think of things, sometimes like an eagle, how they get the babies out of the nest. Because, you know, all birds, I don't know how they do it. They create these fantastic nests with just their beaks and flying around. And I don't know how they put all that together so it sticks. But then with an eagle, you know, obviously it's a big nest and it has a lot of sticks on the bottom, and then they pad it with the softer stuff on top. But as these eagles get bigger, mom's thinking, okay, you know, it's time for you to start learning how to fly. And the eagle's thinking, oh, no, I think I'll just sit here because, you know, this is pretty cushy and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to work. And so the mama eagle starts pulling out all the soft stuff from the nest. And pretty soon, what's left? All these sticks poking up, and they're poking the little eagle. It's like, I don't really like this so much anymore. This is not comfortable anymore. And we get that place a lot, you know, where, oh, this isn't so comfortable anymore. I don't like being around this situation or something like that. And so then finally, you know, the eagle, you know, mom's kind of booting it out of this nest that's now very uncomfortable. And as the eagle goes down, tries to fly, the mom comes down after the eagle's trying, and then mom comes down and lifts it up and brings it back up. So she, just like teaching someone to swim or ride a bike, you got to work with them. And so she does that until the eagle's strong enough to take off and fly. Okay, but what did she do? She took all the comfortable things out of there. It got too uncomfortable. Okay, you're off and running. And so a lot of times when we are so uncomfortable, and I've done that before, where finally I realized, whoa, I don't like this anymore. I'm not comfortable. I don't deserve this. And then what do? You start taking steps to go a different direction. And so this is so important. And a lot in this book is really about that. What are the steps I can take to go forward? And so, you know, one of the things that's very important is we not only need to earn a living while on this earth, we need to create a life. And a lot of times life will go by and it's just, oh, I got a job. I mean, I got to create a living. I got to live, got to support myself, got to support family, whatever. But no, we're also intended to create a life, things that you enjoy. Sometimes we put things on the shelf because we can't, because life got in the way. Or, you know, we get married, we had kids, all these things happen. And so they never left us, though. And that's what happened with me. I mean, I since the mid-'80s, I have felt like God had really called me to work with people, and especially women, and to really help them to get beyond and go forward and be successful. So even when life got in my way and I just set that up on a shelf, and then I realized, no, it's still there. It's never left me. And so if something like that never leaves you, you know that that's your calling and that's your gift. Take that box back down off the shelf and start making plans to get to that goal. So you design it a lot, and I've heard this over and over again, by visualizing in mind pictures. If we keep visualizing in our mind, oh, this person hurt me, oh, this thing happened at work, and it's easy to do that. We hash those things over and over and over. Well, so-and-so told me when I was young that I wouldn't amount to anything, so I guess I won't. Okay, when we keep visualizing that, that's exactly what happens. But the people that have been the most successful are the ones who either visualize themselves winning the gold medal, they visualize and come down that ski slope and it's just perfect. They visualize, it could be a ballet dancer that's done something. A lot of the women who enter pageants and win a title, it's because they visualized the confidence, the poise, and it takes a lot more than that. They visualize talking to people in an interview. Those interviews are really tough. They want people that have brains that can think on their feet, all that kind of thing. So they think of questions that could be asked them. People can do that at work too. Okay, I know my boss is being kind of, giving me a hard time. Visualize, okay, this is what they're going to be thinking. This is the kind of question they're going to be asking me. This time, this is how I'm going to react back to them. And so you think about those things and visualize yourself in a new home, a new car. Visualize yourself in a loving relationship. Visualize yourself doing something that you've really wanted to do all your life. See yourself doing that. I'm hearing that over and over and over again from super successful people. They weren't going to dwell on negative thoughts because that's where they would stay and they would never succeed. I heard this lady, Lisa Nichols, who's internationally very, very popular. I've heard her twice now in the last week. And she was talking about that too, about the visualizations that you have to do. She was a single mom, broke, and didn't know what she was going to do in life. Now she's a multi-bazillionaire because she focused on those things that she knew she was called to do. And she said when she was, I think, 15, her grandma had her take swimming lessons, and so then she got put in a swimming competitions with people her age. And so she's moving her arms like that. So when she was in swimming competitions, she always came in last, always. And so, but she said while she was swimming, doing the laps, she was thinking, oh, I'm going to come last. I'm not going to make it. I'll be last, as usual. I'm always last. And so she was always last. And then she talked to her grandma, and her grandma said, no, quitters don't win, and winners never quit, and got her to thinking about that. So Lisa had said she had quit. She had quit the swim team. But then after her grandma said that, she said, no, you were going to that match. You were going to compete. And that was life-changing for her. And so she went to it, and her age group was all filled up. So they put her in the 16 and 17-year-olds, which were older than her. And she thought, oh my gosh, and her first thought, her fear was, oh no, now I'm really going to be last because they're all more experienced than I am. But she got in the pool when the sound went off, and she swam, and all she thought about was quitters never win, winners never quit. Quitters never win, winners never quit. And she's doing this while she's talking. And so she got to the wall, she flipped around and came back, and then she said she just kind of noticed the gal that was next to her, who was a little bit, behind her still, was behind her. And so Lisa then hit the finish wall, and she looked up, and she said she looked at her coach and said, I'm so sorry, I came in last. There's nobody even in the pool anymore. They've already gone. And the coach said, no, they're way behind you. You got here way ahead of everybody else. How did you do that? And she was so shocked because it's like, you're kidding. And then she started seeing people come in. She won with the older group because her mind the whole time she was swimming was winners never quit, quitters never win. And so I would really encourage you with that. If she can do that, it was a great story, we can do that too. We don't quit. We keep going. And that's when people see the unbelievable results. And that was her start to a whole new life of, hers is mainly inspirational, motivational, you can do it messages. And she travels all over the world. She has multiple millions. And it started from winners never quit, quitters never win. And so think about Lisa Nichols. You can look her up, look at her story. It's really awesome to do that. Same with Tony Robbins. Some of these had horrible lives growing up. And hey, even Walt Disney had a horrible life growing up. And he just wanted to create a place for people to have fun. And so you always want to think about that. And what is your definition of success again? Think about your definition, not someone else's. And then in what areas do you need to push to hit that reset button? Those thoughts will start coming to you when it's quiet and you think about, oh my gosh, this is what happened. This is where I am because that happened. And then it's like, nope, reset, reset. and then start following those steps in the other direction. So think about that. There's something called Meetup Groups. They're all over the country. And you can look up Meetup and start thinking, and any topic you want. It could be baby boomers. I've seen people who are Generation X's, people who are interested in any subject. Some of them are kind of weird, but you can connect with and meet tons of people who are interested in the exact same things that you are by going to meetup.com and thinking, oh, I really love to, people in sports, people in poetry, mathematics and science, whatever the case may be, you will find groups in there. Please go to meetup.com and check out some of those, join some of those, and then you can attend the events that whoever started the group or a couple people will create. And it could really help turn your life around because you're now associating with people who are interested in the exact same things you are to go forward. So I would say definitely something, any kind of life adventures, relationships, health, finances, career, it's all on there. So think about that. And then again, leaving that uncomfortable eagle nest and going forward. So we'll continue this on the next program. Best wishes. Contact me again. You can at rita@soaringhigher.rocks with any questions. Then we'll see you soon.